All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Klauser. This is episode 311 of this great and wonderful podcast that I do by myself, in a room by myself, probably just for myself. So, how are you? What's up? Salutations. Hope you're doing well. Swell. Well, welcome, I guess. You might be like, John, what's going on? Your earphones are different, and I'm like, you know what? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I got some new earphones, so I'm about. One of the things I love is going and finding earphones. And so finding earphones for like podcasts and doing all this kind of stuff and finding ones I find that like these ones are a little I'll explain in a second. But finding an earphone that works great for using for productions. So a couple years ago I used to work at this I used to work for this company, and like it was for your birthday, and then I believe for Christmas they would send you an email. And what it would do is like you'd scratch on the email. It's weird. You'd open the email up and you'd scratch on it. And then it'd be like, yeah, you get like a free gift from our thing. And so they had this huge catalog and had all this like listing of stuff. And then you just picked one and you get stuff for free. And so I'd always just get the earphones. They would always have these earphones for free. So I had a whole package of them for free for the longest of time. And I just burned through all of them finally. And I just had to buy a pair. If you want to know, it's an MDR. What is MDR? ZX110. And the one I used to use, the ones I use, because I only use Sony earphones. The other ones I used was the MDR XD100. So, a little different. Those are more of a studio earphones. They kind of a bigger, they're more comfortable in the sense that they don't smush against your head. These ones are very tight, but that's because they are more for like, so you can hear the sound, because there's only about like that big of an actual earphone, and it's like just covers basically basically the whole, instead of this big thing that covers up the whole side of your head. But yeah, I just prefer these. I think these ones are way better. And these ones, usually when you work on film sets and you're listening to playback, these are usually the ones you use because they're just the easiest and most universal. You do have a little bit of a muffle. The bass is like a little bit lower. And so that's the only thing. But for me, I use that as a gauge to see. I'm like, okay, if it's like muffle, if it's like that, then I just change. And I'm like, I know that like my audio is a little high, and then if it's a little low like this, then that's how I know that it's a little bit low. I need to boost up the levels. But yeah, that's just part of the life. That's part of filmmaking. What I like to do, I just do one of the many things. And plus too, it's just fun. It's you trial and error. This is like what have I told you guys? This podcast, this right here, this what we're doing right now is for when I actually have real productions. Then I can use I know what kind of equipment to use. I don't have to worry. What I need to do is I need to move this one over to there, because I have two holders for a thing like this, and that's all I need to do. I need to stop keeping on this one because I keep bumping this fucking desk right here. Also too, like, why would I put everything right next to each other like that? But hey, that's not here or there. That's not the meaning of this. But yeah, so that's like the big thing. What else do I have this week? There's nothing real crazy, nothing going on. I have a lead for a job, a new job. Thank fucking God, because I gotta get out of my old job right now that I'm in right now. I fucking hate it. And the thing is, like, I don't hate the job. I never hate the job. That's the fucking crazy thing, because I don't mind working. That's not the problem. I just hate the fucking managers. It's always the managers. And then because like my last job, they're like, they brought me in the office. They're, hey, it would be really nice if we were able to like, feel like, we could like have like be like a family, and like we feel like we could have you and be involved and stuff. And I'm like, why? Like, this is fucking stupid. Like, this is incredibly dumb. I'm here to work. I'm not here to be your fucking friend. It's like, I just wish you, like, in the morning, because like, they would say, good morning. And I'm like, what's up? And then I just move on with my day. And I just, like, I don't, because I'm like, fuck off, dude. I'm like, fuck you. Like, I don't have to be your fucking friend, you piece of shit. You whale of a human. Oh my God. Let me tell you, this fucking man, this dumb cob, he was from fucking South Africa, and he was just a pure fucking douche. And because the thing is, like, he just had this pungentness of him. And the thing is, he would be like, like, I don't think you'd be wanting to work in your position the rest of your life. And I'm like, fuck you. What I said to him, I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, like, you don't know what I would do. And like, then my direct boss had to get, like, no, like, he was like, Sam, I don't think you understand. John just does this job so then he can do his film stuff. He doesn't do this. He's just doing this job. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you don't know that. He's like, John. I'm like, because I was gonna go off. I'm like, who in the fuck do you think you are? Because I don't care. I don't mind getting fired from a job, because I'll make it. Because if you fire me, I'm like, oh, am I fired? Okay, well, you're gonna really hear a piece of my fucking mind then. All right, listen to this. Hold my beer, and I'll just go, oh, fuck you up. Because like, it's fucking stupid. And like, it was so funny at the I guess he was so scared of me, and he was so that my boss that like when they finally like fired me, they I guess talked to like someone I talked to, and it was like, yeah, like, it went over a lot better than I thought I was going to. Like, it's like, what do you think I was gonna do? Freak the fuck out? Like, which I was going to. I was just kind of like, it's like every job. Every time I get fired, it's always the same thing. It's always like, hey, we think you're a great employee. We think you're hardworking. We just don't feel like we can have a drink with you, a beer with you. I'm like, fuck off, dude, because I'm not your fucking friend. I will never, ever understand that shit. I will never understand why you have to be, you feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not that big of a fucking deal, because we're just here to work. The only thing that connected us to this job was the fact that there's money involved. If there wasn't any money involved, would either one of us be here? I don't think so. So shut the fuck up and quit thinking that we're fucking friends, because we're not. Is this a little on me? Yes, it is. Mostly on me. Just because, it really takes a while for me to warm up to people, to warm up to somebody, to want to interact with you. And most of the time, what you have to do is you have to talk to me a lot of different times, and you have to you have to just do that. And if you don't, then I will eventually just you'll eventually get the idea, like, hey, I don't want to interact with you. Kindly fuck off. Because I love that. I love having that vibe. I really do. And then when the people I do interact with, they're always like, wow, you're so nice and cordial. It's like, could you believe, because you guys know, I'm a little snarly. Could you believe there's people out there that are like, wow, I just don't believe that you would ever be like that. I just don't ever see you ever being someone like that. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then what happens is that then there's the people who are like, wow, he's just a fucking flaming asshole sometimes, which I am most of the time. I'm just an asshole. It has chilled out a lot. I would say the last year and a half is kind of mellowed a little bit, but it is there. It's starting to come back. It's just because it's like, dude, I'm just tired of insolence, and I need to get a real. And the thing is, like, the lead to this job that I have is it's a real person job. I fucking hate it. Um, I've been so what's the word? None. I've been so like just so anti getting a real job again like that, like a corporate real corporate job, just because like the last one I was in was so fucking stupid. Good God, that was the worst. That was so bad. That was so bad. It was so bad because I was working there, and then at night I was working for a podcasting company. So I would get off work at 6:30, sometimes 7, rush to get to the studio, and I would record. We would record from like 8 to like 12 to 1 in the morning, and I'd have to get back up and be at work at it's like 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning. I believe 8 o'clock was when I had to be at work. And I lived in West Hollywood, and this job was in Carson. Was it Carson? No, was it Carson? Maybe it was Carson. I don't feel like it was Carson. It was like in the industrial part of Los Angeles. And then from there, I went to Pasadena to work in the area that I worked in, which was crazy. Which was awesome because I loved working in Pasadena, and it was really cool so how I know Pasadena is, I know all the streets in Pasadena. It's wild. Like, and the only reason why I know it is because I've walked up and down all these streets, and I've because what I was doing was I was working for a company, and we would work for film companies. And what we would do is we would take pictures of like locations of like houses, of like streets, things, so people could know, like, so this company could know, okay, this is a place we could film at. It was the weirdest shit in the world. It's such a weird, random fucking job. And then what I would also do is then at another time we would also then we would work in like trying to like sell the company. So you'd try to like you'd cold call people, and then you'd try to get people to like get more things to do for this film company. Like, hey, we could do this for you. We can get your talent, and we can get your talent people for you. We can get your locations for you. It's one of those things. It was just so fucking stupid. But it was just so fucking wild. I remember getting yelled at by my boss because he's like, John, you're not taking this job seriously, because I fell asleep during the morning meeting because I was so fucking tired. I was working all the time. All I was doing was working my ass off. Because that's what I thought you had to do. I just thought that's what you did. You just worked, and then like that whole job went to shit near the end, because like that, I don't know what the fuck he was on. It was in a piss mood. This producer was in this piss mood. He's like, yeah, like I just feel like these programs have not been that good. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have you guys come in next week, and we're going to like analyze every one of you and work with you. And you're not going to get paid. And I'm like, what? You're going to have me come here and work for you for free? And I'm like, no. And as soon as that happened, I worked that week, and then I got another job. I got another production job, and then I was able to quit both of those jobs and just work that one. I was a production coordinator for this huge broadcasting company, and then I don't know if I ever told you how I lost that job too. That was fucking hilarious. That was, dude. This is part of life. This is being a fucking 20-year-old dipshit, kid who went to film school and trying to like just make his way through living in LA. But so I basically what happened with that one was I just sent an email saying like, hey, thank you so much for the opportunity for this job. I'm quitting. That's what I'm telling them. I'm just, I'm quitting. And so they thought that I was gonna still come in, and I'm like, no, I quit. You're like, I even like sent you an email. I'm done. And I was dumb. I was so young. I was young and dumb, and like no one ever told me that, like, you're supposed to put a 2-week notice in. And I don't know why I never thought about it. I just like, I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean a 2 week notice? They just told me on a drop of a hat that they're not going to pay me for a week of work. And I'm like, fuck them. I'm like, they don't fucking deserve. They don't deserve any notice that I'm quitting. Fuck them. Fuck them. Dude, fuck that shit. And so that's the reason why I thought it was fucking fair, in my opinion. And then I remember, because I had an advisor, and that's who got me that job. And they're like, like it makes us look bad when you do that kind of shit. I'm like, do you not know that they had me work for a week without paying me? So fuck them, and fuck you too, cunt. Yeah, but then like the Bexel company. So for that one, for the pressure quitting job, you had to get a drug test, which was fine. And so I didn't smoke for a couple months. I didn't smoke any weed for a couple months. And of course I was living in LA. It was legal at that time. Yeah, it was legal. It was medical. It was legal medically, but it was like so fucking no one gave a shit. Like everyone had a friend who had a medical card. And so yeah, so I had I know how to get cops didn't care. They had better things to do. It's like, dude, there's way more important things to be doing in this world instead of doing this. So instead of like trying to fuck with this kid, and so I didn't smoke for a while, and then I went to San Diego with this guy I met at the gym. So this is gonna sound really weird. So I met him at the gym. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to go to San Diego for the weekend. Like I have, I have this, I have like my Marriott card. And so like we can just stay at any Marriott or anything like that. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, and we can get drunk and, well, I'm like, cool, whatever. And so we went and we just went down to downtown San Diego. And we just got fucking wasted, just hammered and just stayed at this place. But like while I was down there, there's this girl at this club, and I kept looking at her, and I was like, oh my God, John, you just need to go up to her and just ask for, and just talk to her and ask for her number. And I don't know why I had such more gall back then than I do now. It's so funny. And so I just went up to her. I'm like, hey, I saw you. I just knew I thought I'd just regret not coming up to you and like asking you, hey, what's up, and asking for your phone number. And she's like, I'm not from San Diego. I'm like, oh, that's cool, neither am I. And she's like, oh. She's like, where are you from? I'm like, I live in LA. She's like, oh, I live in LA. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. I'm in town because I'm visiting with my friend. My friend wanted to come down and visit. And she's like, oh, I'm in town because like my friend had a wedding. And I'm like, oh, awesome. And so we just kind of hit it off, and it was great. And then and she's like, yeah, here's my phone number. And then I got her phone number, and then like that weekend we ended up hanging out, that following Sunday. So we both got back in LA. I got on that Sunday, and then we ended up like just hanging out that first Sunday. But anyway, so we eventually became more and more closer and closer. We hung out all the time, and what we'd do is we'd eventually just start. We'd smoke, and we'd bang, because we were pretty cool like that. And yeah, I guess because back then also too, like I'd talk to a girl, then we just start like I'd talk to her. Next thing you know, like we were like going and having tacos and having sex. Like it's just this was part of this. That was just part of what we did. So yeah, that's what we were doing, and like so we get. She's like, yeah, I got weed. Do you want to smoke some weed? I'm like, yeah. She's like, can you? She's like, the only thing is I don't know how to roll a blunt. Like, can you roll a blunt? So I'd always be rolling blunt. I'd roll blunts. We'd smoke. We'd bang. Watch TV. And yeah, and that's it. We'd be really chill. And so I had my drug test, and I still do not know if I passed my first one. I assumed I did because I ended up working there. But what happened is that I was so persistent with that job. So I had the drug test, and so I waited like 2 weeks. I didn't hear anything from him. And so I called him, and I called every fucking day. Again, like I told you, I had way more goal back then, than I do now. But because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Because you see those in movies, like if you want to become that filmmaker, that famous filmmaker, you have to just be super persistent. And I would call every day. I'm like, hey, I just want to know if we got my results for like my, all that stuff, and when I can start working. And he's like, oh, I don't know yet, man. Like, I'll come back to you. And then like eventually it was like, I think it was like maybe a month of me just doing this, and they ended up just giving me a job because I don't know. It was just what happened. I don't know. I just did it, and still to this day, I look back on that. I'm like, that was the wildest thing that you kept doing that, because I just wanted to get out of the fucking other jobs I wanted to. Which in turn, I'm talking about this, and this is what I should be doing to get a. Yeah, I should be doing this to get a better job. Is I should be like that fucking persistent, because I was like, if I just put like maybe like 3% of effort into what I did for that whole thing, I would be a fucking CEO for some random fucking corporate company. Anyway, so yeah, I ended up working there for a while. I worked, and so they ended up like, hey, this part of this, this branch or this part is kind of good. Like, what we're gonna do is we want to kind of move you into something else because we think you could work better another place. I'm like, okay, sweet. And so because I was a lot of people from I went to school with, they worked there too, for this broadcasting company, but they worked in the warehouse area, and I was the first one that I was the first one out of all of them. I was working in the fucking office, like, while they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we're sweating our asses off in this warehouse, and you're just in the office just chilling out. I'm like, yeah, it's just what I do. It's my life. It's pretty awesome. And so still to this day, it's such a weird random fucking. It was so weird. I can't believe I did that job. It was so crazy of a job. And so then like what they ended up having me going and working out in the warehouse, but I was working in the production side of the warehouse. So I was still on the computer aspect of it. But every once in a while I would like have to do like a small delivery of like small film equipment. Of like cords, like wires, maybe a camera, a microphone, simple shit. And so because you had to do that, you had to drive a company car. And so I ended up having to get another drug test. Well, I fucking failed it because I had smoked weed. I'm smoking weed with this girl that I'm sleeping with. And my boss was like, because like he was like, okay, man, like he was like, well, before, what happened before that was that they were like, they didn't know what to do with me. So like, I didn't work for like 2 days. And then out of nowhere, I get this phone call from this like Latino guy. I don't know why, Luis. Somehow he just liked me because he found out I was Honduran and he was from Venezuela or something. And he, for some reason, and every day we see each other, I'm like, what's up, buddy? What's up? And he was high up in the corporation. He was like number 3 in the corporation. Don't know. Still just say do not know why. And the only thing I feel bad about that job is because I feel like he got me back in, and I fucked it up because I had to get that drug test to work in the warehouse part of it, and it was just a fluke thing. It's just because like I had just smoked, and like then at that point the guy who's over me was like, he pulled me over to the side, and he's like, well, what happened? You failed a drug test? I'm like, man, like, so I'm like, I'm dating this girl, and like, it was her birthday, we smoked some weed, and we fucked. And he's like, oh man. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's the reason why I don't do coke, because like every once in a while you're gonna have to get a drug test, and you don't want to fail it. And I'm like, yeah. And so it's like, fuck. And so it was a big learning lesson in that. But yeah, it all worked out in the end, because then after that, I'm finding another film production job. Then after that, I started working, or I had an interview with Team Z, and I had an interview with this company in Kansas City, and that's all she wrote on the sense of having me move to Kansas City. So yeah, dude, I have like 4 minutes left on this podcast, and I have not done any videos or anything. I was just talking. Yeah, I was like, so like, it's Thursday right now. What time is it? It's like 8. it's like 8:30. I just wanted to get this fucking thing done because I'm like, if I get this done now, then I don't have to do it. I don't have to worry about it till like Saturday afternoon before I go golf. Because I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go golf tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday in my world, so I'm filming this on Thursday night, and then Friday. Because like in 2, I get off at like 2:30, and like the last tee time is usually about like 3:45, and I just don't get back. I don't get back in town in time enough to go do that. So I'll have to do Saturday, and then what sucks is I'm gonna have to do it like if I want to get like all 18 holes, then I'm gonna have to do it around like 1 or 2 or 1 o'clock, and it's gonna be fucking packed. I guarantee it's gonna be fucking just wall to wall fucking people who don't know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing either, but at least I'm kosher enough, and I realize that like, hey, let's keep the fucking game going. It's just there's so many people who don't have etiquette, and I got really lucky with the people who I hung out with when I first started learning golf. Taught me a lot of really good etiquette. They're like, hey, this is the things you should do. These are things you shouldn't do, just to keep the thing. Because like they all came from country clubs. All their parents were country club members. So like they are like upscale white people golf. And so because of that, I am too. You know, it's just, you know, part of life. So yeah, well, we got like 2.5 minutes left. I don't know if you guys gotten this far. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Still haven't really set up all the lights. It's just still kind of like this low. It's like the whole background's lit, but I'm not lit at all. And it's like that's usually like all this is so dark compared to what I normally would want. And then I have this random like these like house lights are being used as actual like film lights, which is not supposed to be. They're just supposed to be prop lights. So this is part of life, guys. Doing other things. I have other projects going on right now, and so I'm just like, the reason why I do this is for those projects, and those projects are the main thing right now. It's just how we work, y'all. This is what we do. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Thank you so much for watching. We're slowly getting to the descent into this podcast. It's so funny, like right recently, like I have been getting like these it almost feels like my intent, like seizing is like, it's weird. It's like a weird feeling. It's like, almost feels like I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be, something I'm doing I shouldn't be doing. Probably my body's telling me I should stop doing it. Right? Probably. It's probably energy drinks. I'm not gonna lie. It probably is energy drinks. I don't drink coffee. I haven't drank coffee in a while because it's been upsetting my tummy. It upsets my tummy. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I have left. That's all I got. All I did was talk on this one. All I did was talk. No videos, nothing. And I apologize. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But if you've gotten this far, thank you so much. Look both ways. Watch out for deer. Tell your parents I said hi. Tell your parents I said hi. And, yeah. Adios. Good night.